All right, hello everybody. Today's revenge is Killer24. I've also got a regular raid ready to go, so I don't know for sure if I'm going to do that right after this, but I might. Um, Also, at the end of the video, I'd had a request for a loot tour of my base, so I'll probably end up doing that unless I forget, in which case I'll do it later. Um, And in addition to that, I had a request to do a revenge raid with melee weapons, more or less, more of a suggestion, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. I always have tons of silenced weapons, so it's never been an issue. And yeah, this is a good one to be experimenting with melee because there's not much here. So I'll kind of keep track of the noise and see how that affects things. Of course, no chopper. Your chopper has 4 engine parts. I sure don't seem to find engine parts very often anymore in raids. Used to be I'd get 1 or 2, maybe 4 at most, but... Alright, well, let's go ahead and get started over here. I had an idea too, just to suggest it to you guys. I don't think I'll ever really be doing it very often. I did kind of do it on this one. But one thing you could do is leave in your sacrificial chests level 1 axes. So, I'll leave a Glock like this one here is, I'm sure, mine. But if you leave some axes, I don't know what the amount is, so it would unfortunately take some experimentation. But if you leave axes in those sacrificial chests, they'll end up on the base, and in those circumstances where you need a extra axes, I mean that's a way to ensure that you have extra at the base, that it doesn't cost much to build a level 1 axe, and you can just kind of bring extra stuff that way. Well, one problem with this system is that I shouldn't be using food because that's going to make it hard to die. So nothing special, but good general resources on this one. And I've really only got like 4 more to go. So I'm not even going to get to the big one, I don't think. Okay, well that's good. These must have been like given away at some point. I don't remember. I know the VSS was given away, but just about everybody has one of those. Okay. A little bit of loot for the recycler. So I'm at 51 noise. Let's see what happens here. 52 noise. Oh yeah. I am running out of food. Running out of pants. Silence weapons are definitely easier than this. I am actually gonna have to... I'm gonna have to like find some food here. So doing it this method definitely comes with a cost of armor. Big cost in armor and health. I should be using first some bandages for something like this. And of course I don't remember which one had food. Oh, I thought I could kill that one guy real quick. right, come on over here. Run, 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 run. This would be easier if I put those SWAT boots on that I found. Alright, let's find the weak guy and kill him. Equip the carrots. I'll punch you to death. Well, 54, yeah, it doesn't add a ton, but I mean that could mean the difference between an extra chest when it matters. All right, let's finish this off. And that's that. Gas is a good thing to find before your return trip, although it doesn't really matter. Let's see, what do I want to bring back? Pretty much just these guns. I'll bring back you. I'm gonna keep the shotgun here, and I'll probably just bring back like a silenced Glock for the toxic abominations that are with the big one. All right, gas, gun, wood. And now I get to wait a long time to die because I used all the beans instead of bringing bandages. So yeah, I won't make you suffer through that. I'm going to hit pause and set the phone down for a little bit. And I don't know, there's something else I was going to say, but anyways, I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, bye. Okay, so I'm back. That took quite a long while. I basically brought most of an AK back. Some first aid kits. I probably won't need them for anything, but so there isn't a ton left to break in here. Let's take that for now. I can break this and see if there's anything in here. That'll bring my next wave. Should. I thought the third wave was around 69 noise, so I'm not sure what's up with that. I might take that. And let's try this one. There they are. Don't scuff the new armor. And looks like I brought a little too much gun. I didn't want to run out, even though it didn't matter. Okay. Sure, I checked the truck. Yeah, I did. Okie dokie. Let's see here. Maybe. Okay, possible circuit. Help with the mechanics. Tape's good. And batteries. I mean, really, that could be 2 pieces of copper. So, let's bring back my axes. And we'll take the wood. 2 tickets. I'm pretty much got a ton of wrenches at this point. So I've already kind of went through these and sorted through them. At this point, I basically just need to get the big one to come so I can get my points. Ooh, that's good. And I guess I'll just take some wood. Let's chop you. Let's chop this wall. Okay. And we can chop anything else now. And get the big one. Oh, I'm forgetting again. I'm almost did it again. I need to load up my chopper. Almost did it again. you, and you. I guess we can ditch that axe. No, we'll use it up. Which one had the wood? I'll take you. And I'll take you. Don't care about anything else in this base. All right, let's bring them and get this over with. Gotta love that trick. All right, see ya. So, at this point, I'm going to go back to my base, and I'm going to do that little chest tour. So if you're curious what I have, I mean, I've already done this about a month ago or so, but I'll just go through all my chests and show you what I have. So I'll pause it, and once I get back, I'll start that. Okay, so as far as that raid went, this is what I came home with, plus 11 oak, a fully modded AK, and 2 other rifles. So, you know, pretty decent haul. Nothing outrageously good, but you know, for a revenge raid, it's you know, this is the kind of stuff that keeps me loaded. So now I'm going to start my little tour here. So I'll start down here. This is my kind of my raiding chest. And I keep, you know, some gas in here and raiding supplies. Certain things that shouldn't be in here, like the flare gun, I should be putting away, but sometimes I just dump stuff in here quickly. There's my generator pile, and I got an engine waiting. That's kind of a temporary storage. I've got some raw meat in there. I usually put kind of broken down guns in here that I use to sacrifice. And I'm not totally organized right now. The armor is meant to go in the recycling thing. The recycling thing's kind of thrown me all off. I used to be a lot more orderly, but now I'm like trying to move things around and save things and stuff to put in there. There's a little overflow in the wire and some potential circuits. So I'll just start down here and work my way around. So I don't know when I'll ever use those watches for anything, but they have like a low chance of copper. And there's nothing really special in here. The gun parts are probably going to come in handy when they redo the gun bench, but right now they're not very useful. And the flashlights also, I'm probably not going to use them, and they're only going to give me aluminum at this point, so I don't know what I'll ever use the flashlights for until there's another use. Here's some overflow connecting rods, and it's where I keep all my non-drinking alcohol. My regular paints, which I've actually been digging into lately. Extra patterns. So mechanics parts at this point. Some more mechanics parts and some even more of these. I got a ton of these. Unfortunately, you can't put stacks in that thing. And, you know, some of this kind of random junk. And then over here, these 3 chests are where I keep all my like fabrics and stuff. Yeah, and these I'm going to trunk out probably next, because sometimes they get full pretty quickly. So, you know, these kinds of items I keep in here. And then these are basically parts, little overflow rope there. You know, mechanics kind of parts and stuff, mechanical parts, whatever, cans and all those things. And I'm pretty maxed out on wire. So these chests right here are kind of my working area. This particular one that I haven't trunked out yet is just the aluminum that I give to the raiders to satisfy them. Aluminum doesn't really serve much of a purpose for me at this point. Over here I'm keeping my tape and my extra chests. And so these two pink ones here are for the recycler. This one's just kind of got some random junk in it. My main goals were the electronics, which are done, and then I'm doing the mechanical and then the firearms, so that's what's mostly in here. And then I burned through so many phones and flash drive and USB drives. I still have more to go, and I keep collecting them as I go. So, and then the batteries are obviously good for lots of copper. So this is my main one that I draw from to keep feeding this thing. I'm about ready to be able to pop another tank in there. So yeah, these are my main workhorse trunks here. I keep in the black one, I keep my basically my raw stuff here and my coal. And then my refined stuff I keep here for the iron. And in the green one, I just have fully loaded with med kits, my liquids, fluids, whatever. And my food. This is supposed to be all food, but I've got overflow bandages and whatnot. And then these two up here are basically stone, which I'm a little low on, and wood, which I'm also a little low on. I've got this thing basically running nonstop, except for when I sleep and it runs out. Trying to turn all that copper into steel. That's a big long process. This is meant to be just like a temp chest or an overflow chest for like when I come home and I need to drop stuff off quickly, but it's almost always loaded with weapons. And these chests are my weapons and armor. I keep my weapons in the red ones. And I currently have these loosely organized here. I've got guns in this one and guns in this one. And these are melee and melee. And on the other side here, I have these, head armor, body armor, leg armor, and okay, and the boots. So I'm sure I have enough. I probably have at least 20 full sets of SWAT armor right now. These I keep these masks. I never go in that room anymore. Don't bother. So they just they don't serve a purpose. And here I've got some more aluminum wire. I mean, I just give this stuff away like it's nothing to these guys because it doesn't serve any purpose. And trying to turn that into aluminum bars is just horrifically expensive. And so that's everything on the outside. And then in my core here in the vault, I keep more C4 and I keep my tickets and gun oil in this one, basically. And these red ones are weapons here. So my scars, my dual Berettas, my puppies. These are all boy puppies. If they're their gender based off the collar when you pick them up, in case you didn't know. So my extra gas right here. That's basically almost 200 wrenches that I have. I need 10 more for 200 wrenches. And I don't know if they're going to serve much of a purpose later on. You can put them in the recycler for steel, but I'm probably going to hoard at least 200 of them for the time being, and then I might be putting more in to the recycler above and beyond that. So these are just basically full strength regular guns I keep in here, and I try not to ever use them for anything. They're just in case I need them. And my minis, some more AKs, and I'm keeping my plastic in there at least for now. Plastic I haven't had any use for whatsoever. Haven't used a single piece of it yet, but I'm sure eventually I'll need it. And if you're a newer player, you'll have to use some to build some stuff. So my VSSs are in here, and most of my flare guns. And in here I keep extra armor. And that's all I managed to get out of that Chinese event. So I heard you can get some of that on raids. So I'd love to get a full set of it if I could ever find it on a raid someday. And oak and some gas tanks and my turret parts. I will be using these turret parts pretty soon. Once I get to 23 circuits, I'm going to use the 3 above and beyond 20 to finish my last 3 turrets to level 2. And so those will all be level 2. So this is kind of my best stuff in the middle. I got my 5 grenade launchers. I managed to get 2 of these during the event. I found this snorkel on a raid. This I just built, which, doesn't serve any purpose at the moment. This is my current steel collection, and obviously I'm working on that copper. You should always hold on to some copper just because you never know when you'll need it for something, but I've got 14 circuits so far. It seems like every stack now of phones that I'm putting in has been reliably getting me 1 circuit, which is fine. I mean, I was getting more than that at 2%, occasionally, but then, when I went to 3, I wasn't getting any at all. So it's somewhat random. But if I could just reliably get 1 per stack, then I'll be up there pretty soon. 4 of these heat sensors that you'll need for turret upgrades, I think. I don't remember. And I've got a whopping 134 engine parts. I did spend 5 on one of those puppy dealer trades once, which I needed to get something. And it was kind of a dumb decision, but I was curious, and it did pay off because I got a female, and that really moved my puppies along. So it all worked out. And I get these, from the cell phones too. So this is a nice perk. I got enough for the helicopter. If only I had everything else. And 30 white paint. I got all that from a base. And I got these 2 rare patterns. I don't have the leopard pattern. I don't have that flaming fireball, whatever pattern. And I don't have the Halloween pattern. So if I could ever find those would definitely be a nice addition to my collection. I got 8 Z cards from a couple raids, and I actually missed 20 Z cards on a raid, which was my bad, but I'm sure they don't serve any purpose above and beyond just having 1, and who knows when that'll ever be even used. So that's it. That's all my stuff, and I will probably be doing another raid here later today. The smart thing to do in a situation like this is if you get a revenge raid, like you wake up in the morning, you got your revenge raid, it's best to hold off. Hey, get out of here. It's best to hold off on doing this until later, because if tomorrow I don't get a revenge raid, then, that clock goes and you lose a skull, and then you're less likely to get one. So the smart thing is to try to space these things out. At least, oh man, I'm hungry. At least a little bit. Like if I waited another 8 hours and then did it, that would be better. Okay. All right, guys. So I'll see you on the next one. All right. Bye.